Good morning, Nan and Corey and Jerry and Joylyn and Bob Hart and Karen. And I love seeing all the names of the people joining. It fills my heart. I can't even keep up with all of the names appearing on the screen. Welcome, everybody, to our 6 a.m. Pacific time daily devotional, where we attempt to, well, we are doing it indeed, start the day with our mind centered in reality, the reality of the spiritual, the spirit that expresses through all things, so that as we enter the day, we are on the right tracks, in the right state of awareness, so that we can be responsive to the world from the teaching of the science of mind and our faith tradition that holds that there is a power greater than we are, that we are able to use for creative purposes. And what a time in the world it is for us to be doing this work. So I am grateful to you for being here with me as we travel together. We are using 365 Science of Mind, the year of daily devotion, to give us something to launch from as we contemplate and meditate and pray together. Today is March 5th. I had to think about that for a moment. And the reading is appropriate for our world today because it's titled Human Relations. Human Relations from a Spiritual Perspective. There is one spirit, and it shows up as everyone and in everything. Now, if you are following along with the book, or if you have it on Kindle, you know that as I read it, I sometimes substitute words, and I do that to make the text more alive for me, and I encourage you to do the same thing for yourself. It's a wonderful way of contemplating a passage, to re-express it in your own way, that brings it closer to you. Well, it's also okay to argue with the text. It's a beautiful way of going deeper. There is one spirit that shows up in everything. It's a deathless, endless, permanent presence. And it expands everything that it expresses through, causes us to grow and life to be. And what a difference it would make in our human relations if we tried consciously to sense this presence of oneness through all creation. What a difference it would make if we adjusted our viewpoint to this awareness, to this understanding that we are connected, that we have a shared heritage, that we come from the same source, that there is nothing different, spiritually speaking, and that our differences and diversity and our cultural expressions and nationality and range of gender expressions all come from the same source. And in that way, we are kindred, not only with each other, but with all creation. And then he says, while it is true, as the scripture says, and now he's going to refer to a Christian teaching, while it is true that scripture says that now we see through a glass darkly, there is still in us the one cause of all life. Now that is a very famous phrase from 1 Corinthians. Now that right now we see as through a glass or a mirror that is dark or grimy, we can't see through clearly. And it's talking about the anticipation of the Christian communities of the return of their teacher, Jesus of Nazareth. And in that return, seeing will become clear. As one Christian blogger wrote, and I don't even know his name, it's just titled by Glenn. He said, every kiss you have ever desired, every affirmation you have ever craved, every relationship you have ever wanted, every success you have ever pursued, every longing you have ever felt is like seeing through a glass darkly, and then in that time of the return of the teacher, everything will be surpassed. So not everyone listening to this devotional identifies as Christian. So I offer to you that it can also be read and understood as a metaphor, like this. When that day comes, that the consciousness of oneness, which is what Christ is all about, when that day comes that the consciousness of oneness and love is embodied and understood, then everything we thought to attain and desire and achieve and change, we will know more and see higher and experience better, because it is the consciousness of oneness that reveals reality. So as we aim for right relationships, as we aim for peace and camaraderie, we can at the same time know that with our mortal mind, we are not even able to imagine the full expression of oneness, but not to let it stop us, just to have a almost excited trust that the biggest, greatest, most wonderful thing we can imagine, there is a better version of that. So even if my imagination cannot conceive of what peace in Ukraine might look like or how it might come, I'm to carry on thinking peace, imagining it, and at the same time hold in my heart that there is even a greater idea than the one that I am holding in my heart. We are so used to thinking of ourselves as separate from one another that we don't even trust the very feeling and emotion that cause us to embrace each other and everything in love. Now, the one who loves the most will live the most. We meet each other only in fragments, only partially. Only in a miserly way, when we refuse to open the whole avenue of our consciousness to the realization that there is only one living spirit and we share our life in it, our heritage in it. If human relations are to mean the most to us, then we must sense that there is hidden within, around, and through each of us a divine presence manifesting itself. Then the last paragraph of each reading is like affirmative statements appropriate for spiritual mind treatment. So let us use it then. So today our focus is on human relations. And I'm thinking right now about those who I love very, very much and what I would do for them. Would I help them? Would I protect them? Would I share with them? Would I listen to them? Yes, I would. And so today I seek to expand that love to those people I haven't even met yet, who are, according to this understanding, nevertheless part of myself. Those who are in trouble, experiencing trouble, would I just say to them, I am not part of your condition? Or would I do what I can to help them, whether that is through prayer or donation or action? And again, the question, what would love have me do today in this world? So let us take a moment to breathe in And you may hear the sound of my puppy dog snoring on the side. Let us take a moment to breathe in and the birds outside. And let us appreciate the peace that we have, if we have it, and to dwell in it and to amplify it in our consciousness as a way of radiating it in the world. There is only one life, and that life is the divine. It is perfect, meaning there is nothing missing from it, nothing opposing it, and nothing else. It is the only thing going on. I am part of that life, as is everyone in the scroll, as is all creation. And I draw upon it to express in my world. I have been created in freedom with agency and choice. And I have the power to use this creative energy in any way I wish. And so today, I consciously choose to express the living spirit as life and connection, as caring, as compassion. I choose to express the life that is in me as a willingness to learn and understand and be informed, and a willingness to act. Today, I'm going to meet each experience as I feel it really is. I will endeavor to see the divine presence in everything. I am also requiring of myself that I see and sense and feel the one life that flows through all things. I affirm this presence and accept its beneficent action because it already is. As I go forth today and embark on the wonderful experience of living, I am on a journey of self-discovery and also of the discovery of the self within everyone and the power that is the source of everything. And so I let this awareness guide me. I let this awareness sustain me. I have confidence in it. And I am on a journey of seeing, discovering the evidence of it in myself and around me. And so I require of myself that I see the world now through a filter of oneness. And I let myself be guided so that my actions and my words confirm this oneness, contribute to the expression of it, and lead me upon the path of righteousness. I rejoice in the action of spiritual law that even now takes these words and this concept of peace and translates it into an experience of hope and trust and brightness in the world. And without effort, I release this word, this prayer. I bring it to a close by affirming my conviction and saying, and so it is. After each devotional, I sit for a moment in the quiet with the birds and the stillness, with no agenda, so that I balance my devotional practice, both active contemplation and receptive, so that the intuitive link that I have to the living spirit may have its opportunity to speak itself into my awareness. And I invite you to do the same. And I thank you for the dozens of you who are sharing these devotionals and helping me spread our practice to those who are open to it. And I always attempt to put the link to the World Ministry of Prayer in this description. And this morning I put it in the comments by accident, but you'll see it's there. And if you're watching on YouTube, you may not see that, so you can just search for the World Ministry of Prayer and you will find it rather quickly. It'll come up where there are trained, licensed prayer practitioners of Centers for Spiritual Living who would be honored to pray with you if you have a feeling of fear or hopelessness or concern that you would like someone to partner with you about. And thank you for letting me know where you're joining from. And finally, thank you for the beautiful pictures, photos that you are sending me of your candle lighting and where you are practicing from. That warms my heart. Have a blessed day.